Hi, babes. Welcome back to another episode of Balancing Act. Today's guest, I had to write all this down because I just love you so much. Today's guest is someone who has literally seen every version of me. The chaotic, the guarded, the growing, the spiraling, and the evolved. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it, the best heart.
And before she was an Emmy-winning showrunner, I could cry. She was professionally babysitting models on America's Next Top Model. She then upgraded to babysitting us at SUR on Vanderpump Rules, which honestly may have been harder, I'm going to ask. And now she's coming off her final season of Queer Eye, a show built on vulnerability, empathy, and transformation, which feels like a very full circle arc of your career. Outspoken, cares deeply about human rights, got married a few years ago, and just navigated a major health moment with grace. And through it all, she has stayed one of the kindest, most grounded, and one of my closest friends ever. Lyndsey Burr, welcome to Balancing Act.
Yes. Wow. The end. Let's call it. That's really
I feel all
nice.
These things about you plus more.
Oh my gosh. I want to write one about you.
Kristen, here
best
we are.
heart. You just all of these things, and you have the best heart, and that's why you are who you are.
That's very true.
You wear yourself on your sleeve, and that's why I love you so much.
I don't know how to be any other way.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I have no poker face. You just know.
And I'm just going to throw it out, even though we're going to get to the Vanderpump of it all. And to my other producers, I love you all. By far, you have always been, since we worked together, my favorite producer. You are the only person that can get me to dive into things that I maybe not want to. I was going to say do things I don't want to do, but that's not true. Because Lyndsey has a sentence that she used to say to me when we would be filming and I would shut down about something I didn't want to talk about, or it felt uncomfortable, it didn't feel good, or I wanted to run away from it. And what was that sentence?
Is there a world where I think it's always important to meet people where they're like being on TV? I can't even imagine because I'm super uncomfortable even right now with a camera in my face. So doing it for a living, I just have such mad respect for anyone who says, yeah, I'm going to show myself to you and be vulnerable and all that. And I think the role of me and our team of producers is to cultivate trust and to walk you through the difficult things and to find, we might come in with like needing information. We're here to make a TV show. Everyone has bosses, as Tyra says.
Yes, bosses have bosses.
Bosses have bosses. No one's safe. But I always think there's a solution where talent, you can lead with what the talent needs. Yeah. Like there's no, there's like, how do we approach it so it feels authentic to you?
Yeah.
And it's like,
you would always lead with, is there a world? And you never ever tried to manipulate me. You never tried to trick me, quote unquote. Like you never tried to get me to say or do something that wasn't truly how I felt. It was like, this is what I feel I need from you by watching you and being around you. If it doesn't feel true to you, Kristen, what does feel true?
Yes.
And let's find a world where we meet in the middle, where we still tell the story.
Yes.
But I'm not like hiding from the story.
Not hiding from it, and me not putting my words into your mouth. I think that's always like really big, and it's what is your truth, and like how do you have that difficult conversation? Because I watch you all have conversations with people. I was like, I would never be able to do that. And how you all navigate that and getting you to there. I remember it was like your ex. We had to talk about like, are you guys going to be together or are you not? And we really sat down and talked about how you navigate that with him, because you were worried about his feelings. And there was your perspective of why not, I can't do it like that, is you were just, what I love about you is because you were like considerate of him and how he would come off. And so I think you all make it look easy. It's not an easy job what you do.
It's not.
I have a lot of respect.
Yeah. I think if maybe for people in docuseries reality world, like the cast or the talent, if you're living what feels to you as an easy season of life, you know, like if things in your life are going really swimmingly, then it might be easier.
Fun. It's fun. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Life's great when
Yeah.
it's great.
No shit. It's so true.
But it isn't. So yeah, but thank you. And I love you. And that was a really sweet introduction.
It's all
and
true.
I'm also a professional babysitter. That's my job.
Which is literally what I'm about to get into. Because
it.
I don't know how I didn't realize that you did Top Model until we were talking. And I just watched, of course, I was a Top Model, like obsessed with it when it was out back in the early aughts. Just watched the Netflix special. I actually sent in casting. Like I sent in my stuff and I forgot about it.
Oh my God. I wonder if we can find it.
I was like 19, I want to say, maybe 18.
Oh my God. Do you remember
2000? What year would that have been? 2001, 2002. It was around
Ooh,
that.
it
So
was
it's
like
early. It might have been the very first
seasons.
season.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if there's.
And I
how to get
remember like
access
now
to
looking back, I remember doing like my Polaroids or my digitals and being like, oh, they're probably going to think I'm too fat. And I was probably like 120 pounds wet. I was a child. Yeah. But that's very wild. Like, thank God that wasn't in the cards for me. Because
I think you landed on the right.
the whole trajectory of my life would be so different.
You landed in the right world.
So yes, you have professionally babysat models, bartenders, servers, the Fab Five.
Crew.
You have a major range. And so before social media accountability, right, there was Top Model.
Yes.
So you were a talent producer, a supervising producer. What does that look like on a show like Top Model?
So it was really interesting because when I started on Top Model, I was, first of all, the same age as most of the models we were casting. And I started at 10 by 10 as a production assistant. I like through friend of friend, everything's networking. I walked into this job. And season 2, I was in the office getting everyone coffees. I remember they were going to Italy for season 2, and I had gone abroad to Italy for school and like never went to class and knew 7 words of Italian. But I thought it was really like they would be at a loss if they didn't take me with them with my knowledge of 7 words of Italian. So I wrote Ken Mock a letter and like put it on his desk and said, you should take me to Italy. And these are the reasons.
You're a go-getter.
And I didn't go.
Okay.
But I think it stood out. And I know, there's a lot of stuff going on right now about Top Model and all of that. Listen, Ken taught me so much. And I think, and I tell this to everybody who wants to get into TV or has any ambition in it, take every job. Every job is going to teach you the skills you either do or don't want for your next one.
Yeah.
And I spent 10, I did 10 seasons of Top Model through babysitting. I did post. It was my first post job. I learned so much about storytelling in that environment. And we can say what we want about all of the, Ken and the evil and blah, blah, blah. But I truly think he had such an incredible team that actually cared about really navigating people's stories. And I learned a lot about that. I credit my eye and listening skills and interview skills, which I love to do from Top Model, from listening to the people who came before me. So it's not all bad. There's doubt. It didn't age well.
It didn't age well. And I think that's the main thing. Like the world has changed so much, as it should.
And thank God the world has changed. I think all 100%. Of this is like, look at where we've come from. And you could take it even in a bigger lens than TV. It's like, look at life, like look at 50 years ago in life. So obviously there's an evolution in reality TV. It was a Wild West. I mean,
totally was.
I was the babysitter. Season 4, they were like, you're the babysitter of the girls. And it was a job that like didn't exist. It was kind of like, we need someone to it was back in the day when there was a lot of betting on reality TV, and there were a lot of there was no social media, so not everybody was a star, right? So there was a lot of betting, illegal betting going on about who was going to win Survivor, who was going to win Top Model. And so then there were paparazzi everywhere we would go. There was always people trying to figure out who had won top model, and then
like how they do with The Bachelor, like they
Yes.
still kind of do with The Bachelor.
yeah. So there was a lot of secrecy. So when people talk about the NDAs for top model, there's NDAs because we signed our life away because they didn't want the reveal to happen until it aired. And I remember even my own mom being like, who won? And I was like, I can't tell you.
In watching the new reboot, or not reboot, I'm sorry, in watching the Netflix thing, hearing some of the girls say, like, when they got kicked off the show, like they went to a hotel and they stayed for the entirety.
That was me.
So you were there babysitting them in a hotel.
The babysitter. And how it would work is we always had two legs. We had the Los Angeles or New York.
Yeah, explain what a leg means.
So the first run of we would all be in these seasons, we all shot in LA. So it would be all the girls that were women that were cast in LA, and I think we'd probably eliminate like 8 while we were here in LA. And then it would be the big reveal, and we're going on some crazy trip to somewhere. And all the models that were eliminated in LA, they would go home. Okay. And then we would go on this trip, and then the models that were eliminated on the trip, they would stay throughout the trip, and they would all walk the final runway. So when we would do the final runway, people would see these other people, and nobody there would know who the finalists were, who the last 2 were.
It was really
really on lockdown. But these girls, I mean, I could say girls because I was a girl then. So I love to use women. I like to say women, but they were young. I was a girl too. I'd like to think we had fun. I always made sure they had apartments or hotels that had kitchens or kitchenettes and
for the talent.
Yeah, so they could cook. The first season I think they stayed at the Standard Hotel, and I was like, that's a problem downtown. It was a shit show party. So then by season 5 they were staying.
Well, why is it a problem? Because exactly
that. And so cycle 5 we went to West Hollywood to this great hotel that they had like kitchens and a pool, and I would go, this is also crazy, we would eliminate, and then they'd be 2 women in a room at a time. So most of the time, I don't remember if it was every time we did it, but it would be the 2 girls in the room. They only knew about each other. And so I would go take them out to lunch, and we'd go shopping, and then I'd go take out the other girls.
And you're like, back to your room.
So
don't come out.
Yeah, so they wouldn't know who else got eliminated, because that's how tight they wanted to keep the information from getting out. But I got tattoos. I got my tramp stamp with the models. I went wine tasting. We went to Magic Mountain. Like,
do you still talk? Do you have any
I talked to Joni.
Okay, so you do you still have like connections.
Yeah. I love Joni, and I love where her career has gone.
That's amazing.
I have and you know what? I love following them. I love Danny. I think Danny is just the best. I remember Danny very well. Yeah. Naima. Kaylin, they were just, I mean, what a time.
Yeah, what a time.
I loved, Janice is crazy.
Yeah.
I love her because she is who she is.
I know. That's the wild thing, is like looking back on the things even that would come out of her mouth. But it wasn't, it was shock value then. It wasn't frowned upon then.
It was shock value.
Yeah.
And she had lived the life
herself as a model.
Yeah, she had walked that thing. She had terrible things done to her. I ended up becoming a huge Janice fan. I worked on her modeling agency show. I love Janice, and I thought I just loved because you knew exactly who she was.
True.
You knew where you stood with her. She might throw food at you one day, but you're like, okay. I don't know. Then I read her book, and I was like, oh, I see where she comes from. And she's passionate. Yeah. She was a passionate person, but they were wild times. I look back on it now, and if you were to like dig out that section of time and put it in today, it obviously wouldn't work. But we've all evolved from that. But I also go, like, every time I bring up Top Model, there's never been someone who's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. It was
No.
the biggest fucking show of its time, right up there with Survivor and American Idol. And it was licensed in 100 and some odd countries.
Yeah.
And
it was one of the first like competition shows that wasn't about being physical.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you had like the road rules and the challenge of it all, the survivor of it all.
Yeah.
But it was for me like, or it wasn't a singing competition.
Yeah,
It was something completely
it was
on its own.
Interesting. And Richard, there was a producer, he passed away of ALS, and he ended up becoming like a really great film director. He did the movie Quinceañera and Still Alice that won the Academy Award. He wrote and directed that. He was heavily involved in he was a post story producer, and he was heavily involved in this crafting of stories. And I loved him so much because he taught me that nuance is everything in looking at people. He loved knowing about everyone, like what made someone tick.
Yeah.
What is their heart, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that gets looked over or oversimplified in reality TV these days.
For sure.
Not everyone's so black and white, and he was so great at navigating that, and it was really I loved learning from him. So yeah. Wow. But yeah, we had some crazy challenges and they didn't age well.
Yeah.
So
what wild stories, like a story or two, whatever you want, like that were around for? I mean, I know you were there when
I was there when Tyra did we were rooting for
Tiffany.
you.
We were rooting for you.
I was sitting on the floor. It's so wild. I could
did the room
physically
feel as
go back
deafened as
yes
it felt as a viewer? Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm
only laughing because I'm uncomfortable thinking about it. It's not funny. Like it was very, even watching it back now, I'm still like, I feel like my muscles tense up.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to run and go hug her
Tiffany,
and be like, Tyra, you need to take a walk. This is about
chill out. None of us expected that.
My mother yelled at me because she loved me and screamed it at the top of her lungs. I was like, oh no.
Oh, that's not good either.
You got some stuff to work out.
Well,
and now you're taking it out on this poor girl.
I know, and she said in the documentary that there was a history with Tiffany. I don't think I was aware of that. I just know.
I don't know if there was. That's just my take.
Yeah. I don't know. But I was sitting on the floor of that room, and those rooms were not, it was still a pretty tight room. And I was sitting next to, I believe, like Ruben, one of our camera operators. And I remember looking up, and I had not been on set for Top Model. This was my first season being on set. We were shooting in downtown LA, and I was just like, is that supposed to happen? Like, was that supposed to? Yeah. So that was really uncomfortable. I mean, there's so many, the crew of that show, I will say, we are still in contact today. Like I'm on a text chain with people that like our old production manager and producers, and it was such a tight crew, and we would shoot 2 cycles a year. So we would go
2 cycles per year.
And then we'd get these trips paid for. We'd go to South Africa. We'd go to Thailand.
And you're young and
oh my God. And then you could
experience.
extend your trip. So we would all travel. Like we were in London for the subway bombings. Doing a judging during the subway bombing. And I remember being like, why are there all the cops and the sirens going off? And so at the end of judging, we told all the girls, and we had to shut down production then.
Yeah.
But I was like crazy. I was like, I'm still going to Ireland. And I did.
That's so fun. I don't think people realize necessarily the amount of, because you're bringing up crew, like the amount of work that goes into making
the team,
show. I mean, just the shows I've been a part of. Vanderpump to the Valley. I did a competition show called The GOAT, we had that, and that show was like nothing. We had 150 plus crew members.
Yeah, that's different for you. Yeah,
like the RoboCams are those cameras you see that like are in the house
cams.
Yeah, just the amount of people that it takes. Like it takes a city to build these shows,
and everyone's like specific talent And this has taken years to cultivate, right? Like when back in 2000, I mean, we're always learning and adjusting and adding roles. And now we need someone who could do this, right? I mean, I remember when I did Top Model, our director didn't want to go to work at 6 a.m. So he's like, you're going to direct morning reality. And I was like, all right. So I would go and I would just direct cameras, and they were like TVs. They weren't even monitors. Then they were like hard, big
it's like
TVs,
20 years ago.
yeah, that you would carry in. But yeah, there's a whole team of people that go into crafting to making it happen, right?
Yeah.
And that team often becomes super close. And on a series like that, it was really special because we had so many opportunities. Like it kept going, so we had an opportunity.
Right, like season after season, they called it cycles.
Yeah, cycles. It's seasons, but yeah, we had the opportunity to just see a lot of the world, and it was great.
What do you think? Just in regards to 2000s reality TV like culture, what do you think would surprise people the most about that now? I mean, I guess that just no one thought anything of what was happening in the moment.
I think we didn't. I think we were so. It's so easy to look at it now and go like, duh. And maybe we'll say it again about now.
Right.
We were so concerned and wanting to make a hit. And what do people want to see? And
what does it mean to make a hit?
And what does it mean? And how? And we did it. Can we do it again? Like people don't want to.
How do you recreate the magic?
People don't want to see the same thing. They don't want redundancy. So how do you make it different this time? And I think we were so wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
That like you couldn't see the forest through the trees, right? And I wonder what we'll say about TV today 20 years from now.
Sure.
Like how will it change? So
and the pressure to like keep up with what the viewers want, but also create something that's authentic enough, depending on what kind of show it is.
What's the balance, right? And then there's people like you can argue about what people will do for things today, like Beast Games, all these things that I go like they're not far off from, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. It's that and just there used to be really big budgets.
That is also true.
There used to be
and there
so
was
much money,
far less like the amount of shows per network.
Big budgets. Yeah. Like I remember I did Average Joe, and we rented
I remember that.
Oh my God, what a ridiculous show that was too. We rented like 20 luxury cars that probably cost $200,000 each. Took them to the desert. They all got destroyed.
Yeah.
And it was like no big deal. And that was, I mean, the budgets on things, those don't exist. We used to have money.
That is such a good point. But I also think the people outside of what you do for a living have no idea
the scope. There were really big scope. People invested, and now it's like, what can you do?
And so we can't really judge reality TV then by today's standards.
No, it's ever evolving.
Yeah.
It's like apples and oranges. You can comment on it and you can critique it, and we should all hear that. Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, "Yep, you're right." but to cancel it is where like I go, well, I think we learn from it, right?
Yeah. I think it would be just to kind of wrap up the top model, I think it would be really interesting as a revamp, but I don't know what it would have to be done so differently.
Well, this is what I was going to say. So I know she's like cycle 25 and there's been talk amongst I'm sure the world about bringing Top Model back. This is maybe kind of the segue, but I think in some ways the reboot of Queer Eye was the original Queer Eye was a really great representation at the time of queer. It gave a microphone to 5 gay men that you didn't see on TV.
Right.
But it was quirky and it was cut really differently, and it wasn't cut with the emotion that you saw.
It wasn't about the heart. It was more of the
and it was kind of mean-spirited at times.
Yeah.
It was funny, but it was like you look at it, if you go back and look, there's times where like they're not so kind to the
Right.
straight guy.
They're basically like, look at you and look at us.
Yeah. And I think that fit for the time. It was really like, of course, that's how we're going to tell it. But when the idea of revamping that came about, and this is Scout and ITV and Jen Lane, they hired literally the most incredible showrunner on earth to rethink, like, you can't just say, like, here's a format, let's do it again.
Yeah.
What does that show look like today? And that was that was all of them being like, let's not just have straight schlubs in this. It could Queer Eyes for everyone. It's about meeting people where they are and having conversations. And I think if a top model was ever I don't know what that looks like. I sit there often and think, because like, what a joy it would be if we could get like the gang back together and make Top Model again, without like people throwing tomatoes at us. But what would that look like, right? And obviously modeling still exists, so you know 100%. You have influencers, it looks different, the world looks different, but obviously I don't think we'd be putting like the woman whose friend just died into a grave to take a photo, like let's rethink our storytelling. I think that we were going for...
It doesn't have to be for shock value, because there will be things that just naturally come.
Find the interesting story without... Well, maybe tell the story about the girl who lost a friend instead of challenging her.
Yes. Tell the story. Storytelling. Do you feel like... And maybe not, maybe you were too young then. Do you feel like any of doing Top Model like shaped you into feeling like protective over people you work with, protective of talent?
God, are you kidding me? I thought, even though I was the same age of them, I would have they were my kids in my brain. I would have stood in front of a bus for them. I remember guys hitting on them out on the street, and I would be like, get away. I mean, that's
just naturally who you are. Anyway.
I am a mama bear. So yes. And it's how I feel about my both crew and the talent I work with, like on and off camera. If I'm, especially as I've moved up, and I think there were moments in my career where I would have wanted someone to protect me better. And I learned from that. And so I'm never going to not protect the people that...
like, there are times I wanted to protect you too, for sure. Okay, let's talk about Queer Eye.
My favorite show ever.
Because Queer Eye is my favorite show ever. I could cry right now thinking that it's not going to be on anymore. And I thought there were going to be more episodes.
I know, you texted me. I was
probably I think 3 times, and DM'd. I was like, wait, but I thought there was at least 6. And like, wasn't there 10 last season?
There were
like,
10.
Why?
Yep.
Is there any simple answer for why is it ending? Or is it just time?
I think it's just time. And listen, we all want it. We'd want more. There's no simple answer. I wish there was. But I will say this last season, it felt like time. And not to say that there isn't another world where Queer Eye has another rebirth. I know we all want that for
it.
Even
if it's like a special of some kind.
What does it look like?
Something.
Or is it new Fab Five? Right. Is it new? I just feel like whenever you work with 5 people who have very different schedules and have built their
own lives.
And built their brands from the show. They are really famous people now, and they go out and they're famous.
and some have families.
And they have
on top of like their own careers whole thing. Outside of the show.
So it just makes it harder to do. And and so does the spirit of Queer Eye live on? Yes. Can we do it again? I have so many thoughts of what it would look like if we could do it again. And I'm hopeful there'll be another world where we can. But it's hands down the best show I've ever worked on in my, Vanderpump and Kristen.
100%.
But it was my dream job. Dream.
To be able to work on a show that is not about surrounded by like the drama of, but it's about the empathy of and the lives that are being changed and how that's done. What I love about Queer Eye now, it's not like these crazy, we're gonna make you over into someone you're not.
We're gonna help you.
It's like we're gonna work with what your life is now, and we're gonna do these small changes that feel really big.
We're going
to the person. We're going to give your house a little refresh. We're going to show you clothes that accent your body and your lifestyle as well. But you can do these things to kind of like put a little pep in your step.
I mean, I want to be queer-eyed.
100%.
Worked on it. I would love to be queer-eyed.
I would love to be queer-eyed. I wear leggings every day. They would come look at my closet and be like,
"Oh, Tan hates the legging."
Oh, most people do. I mean, like I wear a legging every day.
I love
Tan,
legging.
Take over. But seriously, I mean, just every cast member just has such a purpose that it looking way back out, like you just said, like looking at your own life. I would love like a Queer Eye makeover, but I'm like, it really is. It's like, here's the soul and the clothes, the hair, the makeup. Like I love Jonathan.
Oh my God. That was so
more
fun.
than words can say.
It's so fun.
Just he's the best person for that. When someone doesn't want to get ready, I don't care about skincare, and it's like, oh honey,
God.
It
The
just
best.
my whole heart melts. And we know as women, like I'm not like, I have my makeup done today. I get it done when I'm on camera because I'm not a big makeup girl.
Me
I'm not a
neither.
big hair
I
girl.
should have got it done. I
You
forgot.
look stunning. And I'm none of those things, but we do know like there is something that changes when you get up in the morning and you like brush your hair
And you feel
and
good.
you put a little lip gloss or a little blush on
Just
or a
to
little
feel
mascara
good.
and you look at yourself in the mirror and you just feel differently. And that's what these guys do
It's
for these incredible people that are so deserving on
Kristen,
top of
I
that.
can't even begin to tell you how insanely life-changing, and if I do nothing else for the rest of my career, to say I got to do Queer Eye. Jen always says we just turn your shoulder a little bit, and that just little turn changes your trajectory. Our heroes, like our we just shift you just a little bit, and you're like, oh wow, I had it. It's like Dorothy. Home was hero. I had it the whole time. I just needed 5 fairy godmothers to tell me, right?
I needed the confidence boost or
it's
the
such joy.
blindfold to be sort of taken off of my eyes to be able to see myself.
And it's joy. Like the
It's
show
pure
is joy. What a gift.
In
Queer
the
is a
final
gift.
season, do you have I know I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
You do.
Oh,
Your
I can
favorite
tell you.
episode?
Oh yeah.
And was there one logistically at all that was very difficult?
Oh, yes.
In my mind,
Who are you thinking?
the firefighter woman, I forgot her name.
Yeah, Kate.
How logistically difficult that felt. I'm watching it as someone who's done TV for a long time and seeing how resistant she was would just make it so hard, not only on the guys, but on you guys as
us.
producers, mostly
Myself big
to
time.
still create a show, but you're not. This is not a show where you force someone to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah. You meet people where they're at.
And I remember seeing that moment for her, that turn where she softened
When she saw
and
herself
allowed them
in.
like into her soul. And I was just sobbing. I was like, thank God. Because I was like, you guys are clearly airing this episode. It could end not the way we hoped. It could not end. It may end with like a not a fairy tale ending. And you're still telling the story because she wasn't ready.
For it. Yeah, we're like, you know what? If we don't get the fairy tale ending, that'll be a first for Queer Eye. We were all very skeptical of it. And same with the Fab Five. They were like, wow, this is going to be a lot of work.
And I loved the human that you guys chose to show in the Fab Five, like in their frustration of it, but still the kindness that lived through the frustration. But you didn't sugarcoat the frustration where they were like, don't worry, she'll come around. It was like, this is really hard because we just want to help you, but we can't. You have to help yourself. Yeah,
you have to help yourself. That was a really difficult.
Did that one take longer to shoot?
No, I mean, we shoot the show in 5 days. And
like each
episode gets 5 days. And it's truly what you see. Like, and one of those days is our like prep day, like all the pre stuff you see. So really it's a week is that's a true timeline, what you see in the edit. She was really difficult, but this is what I've always loved about Queer Eye and pretty much about like any unscripted television I work in. I love, even if I don't love someone, or if I'm not saying I don't love Kay, I do actually, but if I find them challenging, or like, God, I look at the people that love them. And then that just like her daughters.
Yeah.
I got to meet her community. I went to her church and I met the woman who works at her church who was rooting for her and said, you have to do this. I met her mom. I talked to her brother, and like the people that root and want it, even if they don't want this for themselves, who want better for the person they love is the purpose, right? So that's the gas. I mean, her daughters are everything. Her community, that neighborhood. I mean, her neighbors were incredible.
I couldn't believe how many people came over to see like the house reveal. And
everyone. And it was a torrential downpour, and people just kept showing up.
Yeah.
So, we had such big plans for the fashion show. We wanted her to do it for everyone, but it was raining, and so it didn't happen. But so that's where, in the difficult things, I always go like, man,
look at the people
that love. And we could be struggling, her and I, or whoever, but this woman has this community that is loving her and rooting for her, and we're here to help them help her.
And I even felt that way. Remind me of her name. Episode 1.
Oh, Doreen.
Doreen
is my girl.
I know that that was your favorite,
this
right?
is my,
that was your heart and soul.
If I never,
she was
like,
even a little, she
Kristen.
wasn't as like, no, I'm not doing this as Kate
resistant,
was, but she was a little, she was
skeptical,
clearly ready, willing and kind and cool to the guys.
Yeah.
But it definitely took some
like maneuver. And then when she got dressed with tan, oh my God, I could
cry.
That episode to me, I would talk about it for 3 hours if you wanted. It's when we met them in casting, all the way through. They were the last one. They were the first episode that aired. They were the last episode we shot. What a perfect way to end Queer Eye. The end of Queer Eye happened with these two women, and I'm such a sucker for like older women and grandmas, and it just, my core like just has always been attracted. I'd love to do a show about older people. I've pitched many versions of these, and it always gets turned down. But I just love them, and that was also a really challenge. I mean, they were what you see. They had a lot of difficulty communicating. There's health issues, but what a joy that week was.
What does the casting process look like for Queer Eye? It's never even crossed my mind. I guess as a viewer, people are submitting their loved one or someone that they care about.
It's literally
and saying, this is why I think they should.
It's literally nominations and friend of friend.
How do you narrow that down? I would be like, everyone.
Oh my gosh. You get really, I don't know. It's hard because when I first started in the Austin season, I thought I was like, everyone should do it. Yeah. But then more experience and working with our team is so good, and both our casting team, our producing team, everybody that produces Queer Eye is just A+. So there's a lot of voices in it that say that, ring the golden buzzer, like we must have this or we must have that. But it's, this one was particularly challenging because it was the end, right? Yeah. And do we always get it right? I don't know. Like, it's hard
I
because
think it was perfectly right. Just, a half a season too short for
That's
me.
what I say. I was like, but you want to know what was so crazy is we thought Vegas was going to be our last season. We really were like, every time you do a show, you think this is like the end. We're never going to do it again. And so I think, Vegas was, when I say it's the best time I have ever had making TV Vegas in my career, it was so fun. The crew, everyone, we had so much fun. Yeah. Our hotel was fun that we all stayed at. It was just symbiotic. It was fun to do something on the West Coast too. Right. So we thought we were done, and then we got the call for season 10. And I think a lot of people who work in TV don't get the luxury of knowing it's going to be their last season.
So did you know?
Yes.
We knew, absolutely knew when you started filming season 10,
it was going to be the last. And so we all went into it with like a little like extra. it was extra special because we knew we had closure, right? It's another crew that I became incredibly close to. We all do. We like, it's just it exudes love. I think my biggest thing, I think all the time is whatever's happening off screen will show itself on screen. I truly believe that. And our crew, I mean, this season in particular, Vegas, it was just, we were tight. We were a tight, with so much love. And so to be able to do something and knowing it was ending when we called the, wrap on that last shot with in the drag bar with the, and the whole crew standing out there wasn't a dry eye. And we got to know that was happening. So we got to live it knowing it, right? And I think that's extra special. I mean, I have nothing but the
emotions, like I can't even imagine that you feel, because as your friend, as a viewer, as an avid lover of this show,
it's the best. It's the best.
Oh my God.
It's the best. I love it. I'm sad. Now I'm sad.
I don't want you to be sad. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about like the actual, like, the mechanics behind, because I think that's something that a lot of people wonder about, that I could never try to explain, even though I'm aware, but like for you as an executive producer of that show, what does your like day-to-day?
Oh, it's so interesting.
I'm sure it changes a lot.
Too. We get prep, so we prep the show, and prepping is really cast, like finding out who our heroes are going to be. And once we cast our show, or we get close to, once we start casting it, we start developing what does that look like. And we work with the Fab Five and their team. They all have their own team behind them. Like I love Tan. He's so wonderful at like crediting Katie and Daniela, who are his, they stylists, amazing. They help.
Yeah, he's not just like a one-man
He's
show.
not out, they all consult, like, what do we think is a shop to go to for this person, and what type of clothes, and they do design boards, and they go back and forth. So they all have a really awesome team around them. And same with design. And as much as we want to say Jeremiah's in there with like a hammer and nail for 24, he has a whole team, right? And his team's amazing. And so
that's
a lot
just
of
your prep work.
That's our prep, is we have to get ahead and figure it out. But what I do love is we're very adamant on the meeting with the Fab Five. We want that to be authentic, right? So
they're essentially like producing with you.
They're
you guys handing them.
Oh no, they're producers of the show. They hear the story, but they never meet the hero
until what we're seeing.
Because we want that to be authentic. We don't want our heroes to ever feel like they're acting. We don't want our heroes to ever feel like they're on a TV show. Like they're on a journey. They're on the yellow brick road, and they're going to hang on tight and trust us. And when the Fab Five meet them, that's weeks and weeks of prep, right? Like what are we doing? What's this going to look like? Scouting, looking at houses. Once the Fab Five do meet them and we're filming, if they have a difference of opinion based on this prep, we pivot. The show has pivoted many times. I mean, a house that was going to be yellow turns to blue. Like, that store is not going to work. We got to find, and then it's the scramble. That's the fun of TV, where it's like, all right, we got to find a new location in 24 hours.
Who's willing to let us film what do we actually, this vibe work with what we're doing?
Like if Anthony goes in and says, no, we're not going to do that, because now I feel like I've really made a connection and tapped into something else. We help facilitate that. And I think that's also kind of what makes the show so special, is it's not, nothing is locked. It has to be this.
It has to be able to pivot.
Yeah, it has to be nimble.
Like the word pivot.
Yeah. You have to be able to, it has to be nimble, because that's what makes it authentic, because it's true to, the Fab Five are putting themselves on TV, and they are the ones cultivating this journey and connecting with our heroes. So it has to truly, if they feel it's off, based on the actual human interaction, we change.
Oh God!
But it's so fun. It's so fun and challenging, and it's so good. I love it so much.
So making one episode is 5 days of filming.
Filming, yeah.
weeks of prep.
Weeks of prep.
Then there's post-production.
Then there's months of post-production. Months. Like,
so one episode takes months.
Yeah, it takes, I mean, yeah, months is a good thing. But then you deliver all together because it all goes, because Netflix doesn't, unlike Bravo or like all the shows go out at once, right? All the episodes go out. So which I love an episode will finish, but the show delivers as a package together. So
a package. Okay, that makes sense.
But it's really, I got that first episode, I got to do post for it. I like the Helen and Doreen episode.
Do you normally not do post? I actually don't even know.
Not on, I do post, but I haven't done it on Queer Eye, but I got to
Oh.
do it on Queer Eye for this season for that. And it was even more special to just like relive.
And you're there through all of it. Like you're at every shoot. Right?
I am the everywhere. Yeah. So I saw it, I lived it, and then I relived it 3,000 times in post.
So much fun and amazing.
It's
So
so cool.
what do you think is something that viewers of the show would assume is easy or spontaneous or but it actually takes a long time? And maybe it is that the prep work and all of that.
I mean, I think the whole,
because you're saying kind of what we see is what we get. It's the before and after.
I think this is so interesting because I try to think about myself as someone who watched the show before I made it.
Right.
And that quick like side story. I hadn't watched the new Queer Eye, and my godparents' daughter was like, you haven't watched
Before
this?
you ever worked on it.
She's like, you haven't watched this? This show is the best show on TV. And so one day I was hungover with my sister and I put on Queer Eye Japan. There's this special season. And because I was going to Japan for New Year's, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll learn something. And I watched 4 episodes, sobbing my eyes out, crying. And then I went, this is my dream job. Like, I have to work on the show. And a week later, I got a cold call for it. And I have no poker face. So I just started being like, this is destiny.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, yes, I want it. What do we do?
yeah,
Let's
I went,
make
oh my
happen.
God, yes. Yes. And so, but what I always say from then, and then having now worked on it and knowing, you know, the bells and whistles and how the sausage is made, I always tell our whole crew, post and production, man, you all make this look easy, because when you watch it, it feels effortless. That's
absolutely.
how I feel. Like it was always supposed to be like that.
Oh, it feels very effortless. It's like,
yes.
You come in, you know, I mean, maybe not the story part, depending on the hero of it all.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, now Tan's going to take you, and now they're going to swap off, and now Antony's going to take you, now Jeremiah's going to come in. Like, it just boom,
It just
boom,
feels
boom,
like
boom.
it should be easy.
Yes.
And that's the magic of the show.
Of the
it's,
TV part,
It's
yeah.
probably one of the hardest shows I've ever made, because you're dealing with lots of moving parts.
Yeah.
When you're filming one episode, you're prepping others. You're dealing with lots of people and their families. You're dealing with a makeover of a house. House renovation is there's just shows on house renovations.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like,
right?
maybe that would be the part, I guess, in my mind that feels very spontaneous.
But it's hard. I mean, imagine you're
Paint
redoing
wallpaper, you're redoing cabinets,
furniture. And so a lot of that is
but still that happens within the 5 days.
it does.
That's bananas.
And like we could show Jeremiah pictures and walk and like give him the idea.
Yeah.
But if he walks in and feels, he's such a feeler. That's what I love about him so much. He has such heart, and if he feels strongly that choices that have been like thought about aren't right, then we pivot.
You pivot. You're like, and we just pivot.
So I think what makes that show so special is you don't feel it though when you watch it.
For sure.
And
do
that's special.
Do the Fab Five know anything about the story ahead
Yeah.
of time? They just
Yeah.
don't get to meet.
Yeah, we don't
the
want
person first and foremost.
Yeah, we want them to
Be prepared.
We want them to not have. We don't want the hero to re-meet the Fab Five, right? We want that moment to be. We want every interaction they have to be, even when cameras aren't rolling. It's like just conversations to be authentic and real, so
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like TV. And I think
Right.
that's really
That's
an amazing
beautiful.
culture that I'm going to shout out Jen Lane again.
Yeah.
She
Hell yeah.
she established. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you feel like you ever take those stories home with you? Like the hero stories?
I mean, and I'll be friends. I mean, yeah, Mike, the teacher, his daughter is looking at colleges.
Was my personal favorite episode.
I have 3 sisters that are teachers. So yes, that was a really special one to me. But his daughter's going to college. They're coming out here for college visits. And, it's like, so I still talk to Terry White. I haven't in a while, so if she listens to this, she might get mad. But yeah, you take these are, and I think about so much about like we come in to, as the responsibility of a producer is, it's very like I have my own life. We all have our own things and we're busy, but we come in and we become so much a part of someone's lives that I think duty of care and the responsibility to know that like, my number, it's not a fake phone. That's my personal number. And now you have it forever. And I'm here, So like Doreen and Helen, I talk to once a week.
Well, tell them I'm obsessed with them. I love them so much. Like,
they're pretty fabulous. They're pretty fabulous.
Oh, God. And now it's just over. And then we just wait for you to win another Emmy. And then
that's so fun to get dressed up. I'm not like a dressed up person, but
can you believe that you have Emmys?
No, it still seems surreal.
I told you you're my favorite producer.
It seems
it's very epic. I remember the first time you went, and then you went again, and I'm just like, what is happening right now?
But it's to me, it's like such the icing on the best. The making the show is so fun, and like I had no idea. I didn't know. I just watched that Japan season and was like, if I'm going to make TV, that's the TV I want to make. And so to have the opportunity, like the accolades and the things that come with it, like not doing it for that. Like that's just, but
it's very cool.
But it's just like so cool that is part of what has happened.
And that you got it of all the television that you've done, got it for something that was so meaningful and I think special.
Everything's meaningful, Kristen, because I can transition that to Vanderpump too.
Of course you can.
I could talk about Pump. Pump is meaningful. Pump is pop culture.
Yeah.
All of this is pop culture.
It was like my life, so it's I don't know.
Here's what I'm going to say about Vanderpump.
Yeah, tell me.
I didn't watch, same like with Queer. I hadn't watched it. I had very close friends that had worked on it.
Yep.
I was offered the opportunity to work on it, and I was like, well, let me watch it. And I watched it, and I am the biggest fan of 90210. Like you can
Old
quiz
school.
me. Yeah, you can quiz me. You can ask me any question about 90210. I will have the answer.
Yeah,
Vanderpump is 90210. It's literally pop culture. It's I'm rooting for Mike Kelly and Brenda and it took what 90210 did as a scripted soap opera, and it was real people living this in such a beautiful, vulnerable, funny, chaotic,
wild.
I was one bad decision away from working at SUR. I lived on Kings Road. I'm your age. I was like, I am this. I remember going to Carter's birthday as a producer and walking in, and I knew like half the people there, and I was like, this is me. That's a whole separate story, but I just love the pop like you guys created, and I think it's really like not easy to repeat. People want to repeat it. I do think
it was lightning in a bottle.
It's lightning in a bottle because it was real, though.
Right, exactly.
That's the thing, is the authenticity that you all had as friends, as real friends.
Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle.
So when you came on Vanderpump, it was you come in, you've never seen it, you have friends that are working on it. And I will say, because I've already said you're my favorite producer, those years with you, even though they were really difficult, not as difficult as my earlier ones, but like they were more difficult for me because it was just like, I really thought during those years, like I was about to like, okay, this is the guy I'm going to marry. And like my life's about to start. And then things didn't pan out that way for a reason. But I felt very seen and very understood. And that made it easier to be vulnerable, I think, because of who I had surrounding me. So as a field producer, if you can want to briefly explain what that means to people, because I won't explain it in the right way, but like it's a very different
job
role.
Yeah. And every show is set up differently. But
or at least on our show, because I only know what I know.
It was so fun. Like I would go,
like you're in the field meaning like you're on, I don't know how to explain it to people.
You're kind of everything, right? Like on a
so
show.
It's like there's no set there. It's no surprise. Like, although you are flies on the wall when we're shooting a show like Vanderpump, you still have call times. There are still, like, we're going to be at your apartment at this hour, or you're going to this restaurant at this hour, because logistically there are camera, sound.
We have to move the people to these places.
There's so much where it's not just like we're following you around 24/7, 365. That's
just not doable. But what I loved about Vanderpump and the team at Vanderpump is like story was followed in real time. Yeah. So we would start the summer and it would be like, there'd be a big catch up of like, this is what's going on in everyone's lives. And now we're going to launch from that. We're going to have, a scene at the park where they talk about that, or a scene at the house where they talk about that. And then we're going to literally follow in real time. So week to week, you don't, aside from like birthdays and like things like that, events, you don't really know what you're doing tomorrow. Tomorrow is based on today, and there was a lot of.
Is that hard as a producer of a show?
Not if you are, if your shows like if it's set the right way, if you have the right staff to do that. And Vanderpump was so well done in that. There was the team that worked in the office, and then the team that went out in the field, a field producer. So, and the field producer goes out and gets all the information, and then it goes back to the office, and then the office goes, okay,
but you're
then
literally
tomorrow
the
we're
verbal
doing
punching
this.
bag.
Oh yeah.
But we're used to that. Talent punching bag. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had to, but chosen to like apologize for being shitty to you guys when it had literally nothing to do with you at all. It just had to do with my own shit.
But I think any field producer knows that, right?
Okay.
We know.
Just feels like such a thankless job. From my perspective, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so
actually
sorry.
is, and we all need to go to therapy.
Yes.
but it's like you have to have thick skin, right? And so it's thick skin, and then it's the knowledge of like, if we could figure this out, we're gonna have something great, right? Like we're gonna make something and it'll be cathartic, or it'll move the needle more. So like you're getting closer. I mean, I was obviously not on during the Scandival stuff, but like none of that is comfortable to talk about.
Totally.
But that, I think,
but it's honest.
But what I loved about you all, like it was, you all are the most authentic, real people. No one's acting. Mm-hmm. There was no, and people to this day are like, well, it was scripted. I go, no, Vanderpump is the least scripted thing.
Oh, how easy my life would have been if I had a script to follow.
These are real people that just from a very young age, and that's, I kind of think the lightning in the bottle of it all. Yeah. Like it's why it's like not a Housewives and I know these are all great shows, but you all were so young and beautiful and broke and wanted to be actors, so you already knew camera, and so there was just a lot of things that worked well to make the drama. But then you knew what your job was, and your job was to be honest. Yeah,
to tell the truth.
You never
to have an authentic conversation with someone who's already in my life.
And you did it.
Yeah.
And I think that is for a field producer. I don't know. Yes, you're probably right. It is. Why do people do this job?
I mean, I always
think,
like,
why do people do production? Like,
I'm much more conscious of it now as I'm older. Yeah. And a mom, and that like, my camera guys, like they have kids at home, and like they have a wife to go home to, or they have dogs. They have things that they're going to go do after their work day, and they don't need meanness or whatever, frustration, you know?
But you could also be frustrated. I think like
Right.
no one is like, I just know that when you're mad at me, you're not mad at me, you're mad.
True.
And then you just kind of let it go and then we revisit.
Yeah.
Um,
What is something that cast members do? And it doesn't have to be on VPR, but just in general, or it is VPR and you don't have to say so, that like absolutely drive producers crazy other than like, is there anything that pops out in your mind of like, you guys are back having lunch and you're like, oh my
this
God.
one. I think, I mean, I don't know if I have like one specific thing, but I do love that you bring up like life, like we have lives and, I
You have doctor appointments and like families and animals at home and just literally this is your work.
I think there is a lack sometimes with talent, a lack of recognition of the people who are making you all look great. Right. And I think, and not from you.
I fully agree with you though.
Like from you, but I won't say names or the show, but I remember very specifically, like we had cultivated a dinner so this one person could have a very difficult conversation that was promised in the creation of the show. Mm-hmm. And it was Friday, so we shot all week. And this was our last thing we were filming. And we made sure it was people that she was comfortable with. And and she knew there was no like, gotcha. It was like, we're going in to talk about this. And we sat down and they started talking. And all that was being discussed was skiing in Aspen forever. And I remember just being like, I'm going to take a pencil and stab it in my eye. Because here are these guys, you're right. Like they're holding cameras on their shoulders.
Yeah. Heavy. It's hot.
We don't have 9 hours to have, this isn't the dinner that's going to go till 2 a.m. and then you're going to be comfortable with talking. Like here's our window and the window is closing. And I think like that is probably the thing that,
that would be
when I don't ever want people to feel like they're watching a clock or like they have to operate, but to be respectful. Like that's the thing.
For sure.
To be respectful of
a lot of moving parts.
You're not the only, we're all in it together.
This isn't your world that we're living in.
We're all in it together. So I guess time is a big thing, like showing up or not showing up, like showing up late or not showing up. And I will say the Vanderpump cast.
Late as hell. The latest. Oh.
Kristen.
I thought you were going to say, I was like, I can't.
Are you kidding me?
I feel like we were the worst on.
Absolutely not. I like the best. I would rate Vanderpump as A+ with time. Hands down. It shocked me.
I know that I am like perpetually 10 minutes late.
I've 10 minutes is
and
not
I'm like that. At least I'm consistent.
10 minutes is
in life and filming.
I've worked with people who just don't show up.
Yeah.
And you're like, I guess we're not working today.
That's so. Well, I love you so much.
I love you, Kristen. Thanks for having me.
Opening up about like your personal stuff,
of course,
for everyone, because I think that's really why you guys listen to my podcast, because I want to talk about the real of it all, but also just the fascinating shit behind the scenes, the logistics of what people don't understand about unscripted series. I think it's just gonna blow everyone's minds.
It's just fun making unscripted. Keep watching, and also Kristen's the best. Everyone.
And I'm not paying her to say that. She's really my friend.
No.
Yeah. After producing me, we became friends.
I was like, I love this woman.
I love you
so much. I love you.
And everyone, if you haven't watched Queer Eye because you're insane, all sadly only 5 episodes are out on the final season.
It's a quick watch.
It's fun. A binge. It is one night.
Kleenex.
Boxes of Kleenex. I've watched the whole season 3 times already.
Oh my God.
And then started going back.
Oh, I need
I went backwards.
Yeah.
Like it'll go to like season 9 and then I'll go back to like season 7 and I'm like, just watch 7 through 10, you know.
Season 1.
So I should go back to season 1.
Go back to season 1. Go back to Japan. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Enough.
Okay.
I love you so much.
Love you guys. We'll talk to you next week. Peace.